God says, a divine blessing is being released from heaven to transform your life completely. Watch before midnight. The winds of change are not coming to scare you, but to carry you into a deeper, softer place of peace, healing, and heavenly love that only the Father can provide. This isn't a moment of coincidence. It is a sacred invitation. It's not just about what's around you, it's about what God is stirring within you right now, right here. There's something moving in the unseen, and you can feel it, not in your head but in your soul. You might not know how everything will unfold, but one thing is certain: God's hands are holding you, shaping what's ahead for good. Type 888 if you believe. In the quiet moments of your day, when no one is watching and your heart feels weary, God is speaking softly. His voice doesn't shout over your pain or rush through your struggles. Instead, he whispers in stillness, gently reminding you that you are not forgotten. Every tear you've shed, every prayer you thought went unheard, every night you cried alone, he saw it all. Not a single moment has passed without his attention and care. Sometimes we wait for thunder or signs in the sky, but God moves in gentler ways, like a hand reaching through the darkness to comfort you, or a calm you can't explain resting over your fear. There are seasons in life when everything feels heavy. You carry burdens that no one else sees. You smile when you want to fall apart. You keep going even when your soul is exhausted. And yet, even in that place, God is closer than your breath. You may not feel strong, but that doesn't matter. God never asked you to carry it all alone. He only asked you to trust. Faith isn't pretending everything is okay. It's holding on even when everything feels like it's falling apart, because deep down you believe he is still in control. In this moment, God is releasing something new over your life, not because you earned it, but because he loves you that much. This blessing isn't just a material change. It's deeper. It's spiritual healing. It's a restoration of hope. It's the lifting of your spirit. God knows how long you've been waiting, how many times you've been hurt, and how often you've questioned if things will ever get better. And now, from the heavens, he is reaching down to remind you. You are seen, you are loved, and your breakthrough is coming, not by your strength, but by his grace. Type 1010 if you trust in God. Let your heart take this in slowly. God isn't rushing you. He knows how fragile you feel right now. Maybe you've lost people. Maybe you've lost yourself in the noise of life. Maybe you've tried to be strong for too long. But even in your weakness, God sees something beautiful. He is not disappointed in your doubts. He is not frustrated with your brokenness. He is moved by your honesty, your endurance, and your willingness to still believe, even when your faith feels small. And he will take that small faith and grow something eternal from it. You were never meant to walk through the fire alone. The pain that once broke you is going to be the very place God brings healing so powerful, it becomes your testimony. You will speak of this valley, not with bitterness, but with peace. You'll say, "That was where I met God in a way I never had before." Every setback, every closed door, every know-it-all led to this moment. You might not see it yet, but heaven is moving on your behalf. Even when the world says you are too late, too broken, too far gone, God says, "You are right on time for my blessing." Let go of the timelines you created in your head. Release the pressure to figure everything out. God's plan for you isn't rushed, and it doesn't follow human logic. His ways are higher. His timing is perfect. When he says he is sending a divine blessing, he means something tailor-made for your soul. It won't be just what you want. It will be what you need, what will truly set you free, heal you, and restore the joy you thought was lost forever. You don't need to chase it. Stay where you are. Stay in him. The blessing is coming to find you. When you feel like you're at the end of your rope, that's often where God begins. In the middle of your exhaustion, he brings a breath of fresh hope. In the pit of your doubt, he plants a seed of promise. And when the world tells you to give up, God leans in and says, "I'm not done yet. Hold on. not because you're strong, but because He is. This divine blessing is more than a moment of happiness. It is a shift in the atmosphere of your life. Something is opening in the spirit, something that will carry you into peace so deep you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. This is not a random season. It is a setup. It may look like everything is silent, but spiritually the heavens are full of movement. Angels are being sent, doors are being aligned, hearts are being softened. And your name has not been left out of the blessing. You are not forgotten in the shuffle of life. You are not invisible in God's eyes. Every moment of kindness, every act of faithfulness, every quiet prayer, they are all accounted for. Heaven has been watching, and now heaven is responding. You are standing on the edge of something holy. This isn't about achieving more. This is about receiving what only God can give. He is about to flood your life with healing that goes beyond the surface. He is about to renew what was stolen. He is about to answer the prayers you whispered through tears. The blessing is not delayed. It's just arriving at the exact moment it will have the deepest impact. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where God can find you. Your life is about to change, not in a loud, chaotic way, but in a quiet, powerful transformation that only the love of Christ can bring. Stay open. Stay expectant. Stay wrapped in His presence. What's coming is going to feel like peace, like light, like freedom. You've waited, you've trusted, and now the heavens are answering. The blessing is already in motion. All you need to do is rest in Him. It's coming. It's close. And it will be worth every moment you've spent believing when it didn't make sense. Even when nothing seems to be moving, even when your surroundings feel the same, what's being worked on behind the veil of heaven is far greater than anything you could ever imagine. Sometimes, the most powerful miracles are the ones that begin in silence, the ones that build quietly inside the soul before they ever show up in the physical world. Type 2222 if you believe your blessing is near. There's a reason you're reading this right now. It's not by accident. The words before you are part of a greater whisper from God's heart to yours. He sees how tired you've become, not just in your body, but in your mind and soul. Life has stretched you thin. You've been pouring from an empty place for too long, smiling through wounds, holding others up while wondering who will carry you. But hear this clearly. God is sending help, not just a solution to your problems, but a refreshing of your spirit. You don't have to keep surviving. He's calling you into a season where you begin to live again, where joy returns and peace becomes your resting place. This blessing that is being released is not simply about something new appearing in your life. It is about something sacred awakening within you. It's about God touching the places that have felt numb, the dreams that have faded in the background, the parts of your heart that you've locked away because of pain or fear. This is about resurrection. God is not only going to restore what was lost, He is going to breathe life into places that never fully had the chance to flourish. You are not too old, too broken, too late, or too far behind. You are right where He can begin again. There are moments in life when everything we thought we could control begins to slip through our hands. The plans we made fall apart. The people we thought would stay leave. The path we followed turns dark. And yet, it's often in those very moments that God draws closest. He waits patiently, tenderly, not to judge our panic, but to meet us in it. He brings calm, not through answers, but through His presence. He whispers, "I am here." And somehow, even though nothing has changed on the outside, something inside us begins to breathe again. That's the power of divine blessing. It transforms not just the path, but the person walking it. Type 555 if you receive this in your spirit. You are being transformed, little by little, moment by moment, prayer by prayer. Even when you don't feel it, change is happening. It's like a seed buried in the soil, hidden from sight, but steadily growing beneath the surface. One day soon, That seed will break through, and all that felt unseen will become a testimony of God's grace. Do not despise the days that feel slow. Do not lose heart in the in-between. The blessing isn't coming to rescue you from the waiting, it's forming within the waiting. It's making you stronger, wiser, softer, and more ready to receive what's ahead. God knows exactly what you need, not just what your hands are asking for, but what your soul is aching for. He sees the tears you never shared, the worries you never spoke out loud, the silent battles you face at night when everyone else is asleep. He sees you, all of you. And he still calls you worthy. This divine blessing is not based on your perfection. It's not being sent because you did everything right. It's being sent because you belong to him, because he's never stopped loving you, because his mercy is bigger than your mistakes, and his plans are greater than your past. This is a turning point. Something has shifted. You may not feel it fully yet, but in the spirit there has been a release. The heavens are open over you. What once felt like a wall is now a door. The delays that once made you doubt are now becoming setups for divine timing. Every prayer has been accounted for. Every longing has been heard. God has not overlooked you. The blessing may not come in the way you expect, but it will arrive in the way your heart needs most. And when it does, you'll know it was him. You'll know it was always him. You're not alone in this journey. There is a Savior who walks with you, who carries what you can't, who intercedes for you when you don't even have words. Jesus knows what it feels like to be human. He knows the weight of sorrow, the sting of betrayal, the ache of loneliness. That's why he doesn't just offer you advice, he offers you himself, not a distant God, but a near one. Not a high place you must climb to reach him, but a hand that reaches down to pull you close. He is the blessing. His presence is the breakthrough. And he is here. Take this moment to breathe. Just breathe. Let go of the tension in your shoulders. Let go of the fear in your chest. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to carry it all. You just need to let him in. Let him comfort you. Let him guide you. Let him remind you of who you are in his eyes. A child, not a burden. A beloved, not a failure. A soul worth saving, not a mistake. He is preparing something for you that no person can steal, no enemy can block, and no circumstance can destroy. It is sealed with grace, and it is coming. There is still beauty ahead. Even if you've walked through fire, even if the ashes of your past still cling to you, there is still a future painted in the colors of hope. God doesn't need perfect conditions to bless you. He blesses in the storm. He blesses in the wilderness. He blesses when it seems impossible. And that's what makes it divine. It defies logic. It goes beyond human understanding. It doesn't make sense to the world, but it brings peace to the soul. This is what's being released over your life, a peace that anchors you, a joy that strengthens you, and a blessing that changes everything. You may not understand everything that's happening right now, and you don't need to. What matters most is this: God hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't ignored your cries. He hasn't turned away from your pain. In fact, he's been closer than you've realized all along, and what's about to unfold is not the end, it's the beginning of something sacred. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. Some seasons stretch you so deeply that you wonder if you'll ever feel whole again. They test your patience, drain your strength, and leave you staring at closed doors and unanswered prayers. But even in those moments, God is working in ways your eyes can't see. Every delay has a purpose. Every no is protecting something. Every silence is filled with meaning. There is never a wasted second in the hands of a God who knows how to turn pain into purpose. And while the world may rush to solve, God patiently builds something eternal inside you, layer by layer, breath by breath, gently preparing you for a blessing that won't just change your circumstances, but will renew your spirit from the inside out. You may have felt forgotten by others. You may have experienced rejection that left deep scars. You may carry wounds that you hide so well, no one would ever guess you've been through what you have. But God knows. He remembers every moment. And He calls you by your name, not by your failure, not by your shame, but by your purpose. You are not just another face in the crowd to Him. You are His creation, His beloved, His chosen. He has watched over you in every storm, and He's been whispering into your soul, "Hold on, the blessing is near." This blessing isn't about fixing everything in one night. It's about healing the places that broke slowly, one painful moment at a time. And just as those wounds didn't appear overnight, neither will the healing be rushed. But it will be deep, it will be holy, and it will leave you changed in the best way. God isn't rushing to get you out of this valley. He's walking through it with you, holding your hand, steadying your steps, and making sure you come out stronger, softer, and more in tune with His voice than ever before. The valley is not your destination. It's just part of the journey. Type 1919 to receive miracles. There is a weight you've been carrying that was never yours to hold. It may be guilt, fear, regret, or the overwhelming pressure to be everything for everyone, but God is calling you to lay it down. Not because you failed, but because you were never meant to do life alone. You were made to walk with Him, lean on Him, and rest in the shelter of His presence. The blessing being released into your life is not about achievement, it's about surrender. It's about trusting that even when you're not enough, He is. Even when you don't see the way forward, He's already made the path straight. Maybe you've been praying the same prayer for months or even years, and you wonder if it's been lost in the heavens. But not a single word has gone unheard. Not a single tear has gone unseen. God bottles every tear and hears every whisper. He's not ignoring you. He's preparing the right answer at the right time. Sometimes the delay's the greatest mercy. Sometimes the wait protects you from things you didn't know were ahead. But now, the time is coming. The spiritual skies are opening, and what was once delayed is being delivered. God's blessings aren't just gifts, they are reflections of His love, and the one He is sending your way has your name written on it. It will not go to someone else. It will not pass you by. It has been made for your story, shaped for your journey, designed for your healing. You won't need to fight for it, perform for it, or pretend for it. You'll just need to be still, to remain in Him, and to receive it when it arrives. Let your heart rest in the truth that He has already gone before you. When life feels like a battle, it's easy to lose sight of the blessings unfolding in small, quiet ways. The moment you woke up this morning, grace met you. The breath in your lungs is a sign that purpose still lives in you. The strength you found to face today is proof that God hasn't let go. These small mercies are not small at all. They are glimpses of a faithful Father watching over every detail of your life. And when the time is right, He will multiply those moments into a miracle that will leave you breathless with gratitude. You may feel weary right now, but there is a shift coming. Not just a shift in your outer life, but a holy shift in your inner world. The anxiety, the pressure, the questions, they are slowly being replaced with peace, clarity, and the unshakable belief that God is for you. The blessing being released will not just change your situation, it will reveal the strength that has always lived within you, the faith that carried you even when your hope felt dim, and the deep love of a Savior who never stopped interceding on your behalf. Sometimes God allows the brokenness to lead us back to Him. Sometimes it takes the quiet moments of despair to realize how deeply we need His light. But once you've tasted His presence in the valley, you never forget it. And once He lifts you out, you carry the mark of that grace forever. That's the kind of blessing He's sending, one that doesn't just give you what you wanted, but shows you what you truly needed. And it's coming. Not through your striving, but through your surrender. Don't worry about how or when or through whom it will arrive. Just know that when God decides to move, nothing and no one can stop Him. Not the opinions of others, not the mistakes of your past, not the fear that tries to whisper lies in your mind. His blessing overrides it all. It speaks a louder truth. It brings a peace that doesn't make sense and a joy that doesn't depend on circumstances. This is what's being released over you, a blessing that rewrites the story and brings you into a deeper, more beautiful chapter. Keep walking, even if it's slow, even if it's with tears in your eyes, even if your faith feels smaller than it used to. Just keep walking, because you are not walking alone. And with every step you take, you are moving closer to the moment when it all starts to make sense. The hand of God is moving gently but surely, shaping things in your favor. You may not see the full picture yet, but every quiet moment is carrying a promise, and every breath you take is proof that God's grace is still covering your life. You are not here by chance. You are being prepared, strengthened, and positioned for something far greater than anything you've ever experienced before. Type yes to affirm. So often, the soul grows tired before the breakthrough comes. The waiting feels long, the nights stretch out, and the weight of what you carry begins to press harder than ever. And yet, that's when God is the most near. That's when heaven watches closely, when angels surround you with unseen strength, and when Jesus kneels beside your heart to remind you that you're not forgotten, not forsaken, and not fighting alone. You might be weary, but you are not empty. You might feel broken, but you are still chosen. And the God who created the stars has not lost track of your steps. There are times when all you have is a flicker of hope, barely enough to light the way ahead. But God sees that flicker, and He never lets it burn out. He protects it like a flame in His palm, shielding it from the winds of despair and nurturing it until it grows stronger again. You may think your faith is too small, but God can do extraordinary things with even the smallest seed of belief. He doesn't ask you to be fearless. He simply asks you to stay close, stay with Him, stay in the promise, because the blessing is not delayed, it's on its way. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. There's a healing taking place in the stillness. You may not feel it yet, but something inside you is being mended. The pieces that shattered in the past are being gathered by gentle hands. God never wastes a wound. He doesn't leave us broken without reason. He brings beauty from ashes, strength from sorrow, and wisdom from the wilderness. This is not the end of your story, it's the chapter that teaches you how deep His love truly is. Not because you earned it, but because He chose you, and nothing in your past has disqualified you from the blessing He's already written into your future. The tears you cried alone are sacred. God saw each one fall, and while no one else may have noticed the nights you laid awake praying for relief, He was there, holding you, covering you, speaking to your heart in the kind of silence only heaven understands. Sometimes He doesn't remove the storm, He simply becomes your shelter in the middle of it. Sometimes He doesn't answer in the way you imagined. He responds with something far greater, something that reshapes your spirit and sets your feet on holy ground. There's something about the way Jesus loves that brings peace, even when the world offers none. It doesn't need to make sense to everyone else. It only needs to be real to you, and it is. That presence you feel when you cry out. That calm you can't explain in the middle of chaos. That sudden strength when you were ready to give up. That's Him. That's the Savior of your soul reminding you that you're still in His hands, still wrapped in His purpose, and still covered by grace that knows no limits. Every time you chose to believe when it would have been easier to give up, heaven noticed. Every time you showed kindness despite being treated unfairly, it was counted. Every quiet act of love, every gentle prayer whispered into the night, every time you forgave when you could have walked away, it was all seen, it all mattered, and none of it was in vain. God is not unjust. He is not forgetful, and what you have sown in tears, you will reap in joy. There is a harvest of healing, favor, and restoration coming to your life that only He could prepare. This isn't about just receiving good things. This is about being filled with what truly matters: peace that calms the restless, hope that refuses to fade, and faith that stands even when everything shakes. The blessing that's being released over you will restore what was lost, but it will also awaken what you didn't know you were capable of. It will stir up dreams you thought had died. It will reignite purpose where there was once pain. And most of all, it will draw you closer to the heart of God in ways you've never known before. You were created for more than survival. You were designed to live fully, freely, and faithfully. And no matter what this world has tried to convince you of, that truth still stands. The pain didn't cancel the promise. The detours didn't delete the destination. God is still guiding you, still working through every detail, and still using even the broken pieces for something beautiful. The blessing is not just coming, it has already begun. In the small shifts, in the quiet comforts, in the deep places of your heart where light is starting to return, it's already unfolding. Let go of the pressure to have it all figured out. Let go of the weight that was never yours to carry. You were never meant to walk this path alone. Jesus has been beside you since the beginning. And while people may fail, circumstances may change, and seasons may shift, His love does not. His commitment to you is eternal. He's not pacing the floor wondering if you'll make it. He's holding the pen that's writing a testimony from your trials. He's already seen the ending, and it's more beautiful than you can picture right now. If today is heavy, rest in Him. If your mind is tired, quiet it in His presence. You don't have to be strong all the time. You just have to be held, and that's exactly what He's offering you. A place to rest, a space to heal, and a love that wraps around your entire being and whispers, "You are mine, you are safe, and you are going to be okay." The blessing is not a distant promise. It is present, it is near, and it is beginning to touch your life even as you read these words. It is the soft unfolding of something sacred, something personal, something written into the very fabric of your life before you ever took your first breath. There is a shift happening around you, and though you may not yet see the fullness of it with your eyes, your heart has already begun to sense it. God is moving, and what He is about to release will not only lift the burden off your shoulders, but will also restore the beauty that life tried to steal from you. Type 2323 if you agree. So many times, life hands us more than we know how to carry. It places expectations we never asked for, responsibilities we never saw coming, and losses we never thought we'd face. We grow tired not just physically but spiritually. We question if we're still on the right path, if God is still listening, or if maybe somehow we were left behind. But the truth is, we were never forgotten. Even in your loneliest hour, God was with you. Even in your moments of doubt, His mercy held you. And now, at this very point in your life, He's preparing to reveal why the waiting had to happen. You didn't endure the fire for nothing. The pain, the tears, the stretching, it all served a purpose far deeper than what you could see. While you were walking through dark valleys, God was shaping you for a blessing so personal it could only be understood after the storm. He was building endurance in your soul, growing patience in your spirit, and softening your heart to receive what could only be given through surrender. What's coming isn't just an answer to your prayer, it's the evidence that God has been listening the entire time. You've been strong for so long. You've kept going when others would have given up. You've smiled through pain and showed up even when your spirit was aching. But now, God is saying it's your turn to be filled, your turn to be restored, your turn to receive. This blessing isn't about more pressure, more battles, or more striving. It's about healing. It's about peace. It's about a rest that only the Spirit of God can give, where your soul breathes again and your heart finds joy, not in the outcome, but in the presence of the one who never left your side. Type 2020 to claim miracles. This transformation God is releasing into your life will begin on the inside. It may not come with thunder or lightning. It may not make headlines, but it will bring stillness to your chaos. It will bring strength where there was weakness. It will settle the unrest that's been silently tearing at you from within. You will wake up with clarity where there used to be confusion. You will walk with confidence that doesn't come from pride, but from knowing who you belong to. You will find yourself no longer surviving, but living, laughing, and believing again. You don't need to prove your worth to God. You don't need to earn His love or qualify for His blessing. His love has never been based on your performance. It has always been based on His nature. He is good, He is kind, and He is faithful. The blessing that's being released isn't coming because you got everything right. It's coming because He is good, and His goodness flows out of who He is, not out of what you've done. That's why this blessing will come like a surprise. It will feel undeserved, but it will be exactly what your soul has needed all along. There's a divine realignment taking place. Relationships that drained you are being removed. Paths that led to nowhere are being closed. Habits that hindered your growth are losing their grip. God is not punishing you, He's protecting you. He's making room for what's meant to come. And what's coming will not require you to shrink, pretend, or wear a mask. You will be free to breathe, to heal, and to simply be. Because when God blesses, He does not add sorrow with it. He brings fullness, peace, and quiet joy that anchors your heart in Him. Every disappointment was setting the stage for this moment. Every detour was pointing you in the direction of destiny. You didn't miss your chance. You didn't fail the test. You're not too late. This is your time. And what God is doing in your life is not a temporary fix, it's a holy transformation. You'll look back and realize that the nights you spent crying, the days you spent doubting, and the seasons you spent feeling alone were all preparing you for a depth of faith you never would have known otherwise. The blessing isn't just something that will come to you, it's something that will come through you. It will heal others as it heals you. It will speak peace into the lives of those around you. Your testimony will carry weight, not because of perfect words, but because of the real healing that shines through your eyes. People won't just see what you've received, they'll feel the presence of God when they're near you. That's the kind of blessing that's being released. One that doesn't just change your circumstances, but changes the very atmosphere around you. Let your heart soften, let your grip loosen. Let the walls around your soul begin to fall. You don't need to be guarded anymore. You don't need to hide your scars. God is not ashamed of your broken places. He's proud of how you've endured. And now, He wants to fill those places with a love so strong, it will restore what was lost and renew what was forgotten. The kind of love that wraps around your weariness and gives you rest, that's what's coming. That's what's being released. And it will come not with noise, but with peace. You may have felt like life passed you by, like everyone else got ahead while you stayed stuck. But God is not on the world's timeline. He's on His own, and it is always perfect. What took others years will take you months. What seemed impossible before will suddenly feel natural, because when heaven moves, it doesn't follow the rules of time. It moves with grace, with power, and with divine authority. And right now, heaven is moving for you. Even after everything you've lost, even after all the disappointments, even after the mistakes, the missteps, and the moments you thought it was over, He's showing you it never was. This is the hour when healing begins, when brokenness meets redemption, and when your life starts shifting in ways you can't explain but you will feel with your whole soul. Type Amen if you believe. There is something beautiful about the way God works in silence. While your heart breaks and you feel like time is slipping away, He is working beneath the surface. His plans do not always come with signs and wonders at first. They often begin in the quiet places of the heart where doubt begins to fade, where peace slowly enters, and where your spirit starts to rise again without fully understanding why. These are not random feelings. These are the first signs of what He is doing. You may have been waiting a long time, but the blessing was never denied. It was being prepared to meet you at the exact moment it would matter most. You've walked through days that left you confused and nights that left you in tears. You've prayed without seeing change. You've stayed faithful when it would have been easier to give up. And now, the heavens are responding, not with just a small sign, but with a full release of something eternal. The blessing being poured out over you will not only answer prayers, it will rewrite the atmosphere around your life. What once felt cold will feel warm. What once felt lost will be restored. You won't have to chase it. It will find you. Not because you begged for it, but because you belong to the one who never stopped listening. Type 1111 if you trust in God. This transformation will be more than you ever expected. It won't come wrapped in glitter, but it will come wrapped in grace. It won't require you to strive harder, it will ask you to rest deeper. God doesn't need you to figure everything out before He moves. In fact, He often moves when we finally admit we can't do it all. That moment of surrender is not weakness. It's where true strength begins. That's when heaven opens. That's when the Spirit fills the space where fear once lived. That's when miracles begin to flow, not through control, but through trust. There's a reason you didn't give up when things got dark. There's a reason you kept believing, even when you were afraid. God placed something inside you that couldn't be taken, something that remained anchored, even when everything else felt uncertain. That inner strength wasn't yours alone, it was Him. His Spirit never left you, and now that same Spirit is preparing to release favor over every area of your life that has been dry, waiting, or forgotten. There is no place too broken for God to rebuild. There is no part of your heart too wounded for Him to heal. You may not understand why certain doors closed. You may still be wondering why certain people had to walk away. But trust this: what God removes is never greater than what He brings. What was taken from your hands was never more valuable than what He is placing into them now. You will not be left empty. You will be filled with something far more lasting, far more holy, far more aligned with who you really are. This is a divine exchange. What was once grief will become gratitude. What was once pain will carry purpose. What once broke you will now build you. Take a breath and remember that you are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And preparation always takes time, not because God is slow, but because He is careful. He crafts with detail. He works in layers. He protects what is sacred, and you are sacred to Him. This blessing will not come rushed or forced. It will come gently, steadily, and in perfect timing. You won't have to push for it. It will arrive like the morning sun, soft, certain, and undeniable. Let your heart begin to expect good again. Let your mind begin to imagine peace again. Let your soul believe that you are still worthy of joy. God has not changed His mind about you. The promise still stands. His plans are still in motion. The delays you experienced weren't a sign of denial, they were a sign that the foundation needed to be deep enough to hold what's coming. A shallow life cannot carry a deep blessing. But now, the ground is ready, and the blessing is near. You've been strong, but now it's time to be held. You've been fighting, but now it's time to receive. God is saying, let me take over now. He's not asking for more striving. He's asking for your surrender. The kind that says, God, even if I don't understand, I trust you anyway. That kind of faith opens heaven. That kind of surrender welcomes breakthrough. And that's what you're stepping into now, not just a better season, but a blessed one. Not just a good moment, but a God-ordained transformation. There will be moments very soon where you'll pause, look around, and feel the weight lift. You'll find yourself smiling for no reason. You'll sense something new in your spirit, calm, confident, complete. That's how you'll know the blessing is here. It won't shout, it won't make a scene, but it will settle into your life like it was always meant to be there. And it was. Everything you've been through brought you here. Every closed door led to this one. Every lonely night was part of a holy setup. And now, the door is opening, and heaven is about to pour out what your heart has been aching for. Don't be afraid to receive. Don't question whether you deserve it. Just open your heart. You've waited long enough. You've cried enough. You've given enough. And now, it's your time to be restored. Not because the world says so, but because God has declared it from heaven. Something sacred is being written into your story. Even now, even while you wonder if anything is changing, even while the world around you still looks the same, something is shifting in the spiritual realm. Something good, something lasting. God has not brought you this far just to leave you here. His plans stretch farther than your pain, and His love runs deeper than your past. Type 222 if your heart is open to God's plan. There are times when you feel like you're standing in the middle of a long, empty road with no signs and no clear direction. You pray, you wait, you try, and still it feels like nothing is happening. But silence is not the absence of movement. Heaven often works in quietness. God builds in stillness. And what He is doing now in your life is not for show, it's for strength. He is laying foundations so deep that what's built upon them will not collapse. He is preparing a blessing not just to touch your life briefly, but to remain, to grow, and to overflow. You are not being punished. You are not being tested for failure. You are being trusted with waiting, trusted with growth, and trusted with becoming the kind of person who can carry the weight of the blessing with grace and humility. Sometimes God says, wait, not because He's withholding, but because He's protecting, because He knows what is best and when it's best. And in His timing, everything falls perfectly into place. Not a second too early, not a moment too late. There is beauty in what you've endured. You might not see it yet, but the pain didn't go unnoticed. It carved space in your heart for more compassion. It taught you patience, faith, and resilience. It stripped away what wasn't meant for you and revealed what truly matters. You are not who you used to be, and that's a beautiful thing. You've grown. You've deepened. You've learned how to stay soft in a world that keeps trying to make you hard. That alone is proof that God has been with you every step of the way. This blessing is going to feel like peace. Not the kind that's loud or dramatic, but the kind that settles quietly into your spirit, reminding you that God hasn't forgotten a single detail. The kind of peace that lets you breathe deeply again. That lets your shoulders finally relax. That reminds your heart it doesn't have to carry the world. You'll know it's from Him because it won't rush you, confuse you, or overwhelm you. It will soothe you. It will steady you. It will remind you that you are safe in His hands. Type 555 if you receive this peace into your soul. You've spent so long holding everything together, carrying responsibilities, staying strong for others, walking through storms with no umbrella but your faith. And now, God is saying, let me carry you. This is your time to lean back, to rest, and to let go of the fears that have haunted your sleep. You were not made to live in constant tension. You were made to walk with Him, side by side, in step with His grace. And when you do, even the heaviest burdens become light. He's not disappointed in you. He's not angry with your questions or frustrated with your weakness. He's proud of your courage, proud of your faith, proud of the way you've kept showing up when it would have been easier to disappear. The kind of strength you've shown isn't loud, it's the kind that heaven honors. And now, in return, He is sending you what your soul has longed for: comfort, clarity, and confirmation that everything is about to change for the better. This blessing is more than just a moment of relief. It's a reordering, a realigning. God is placing the right people, the right opportunities, and the right doors before you. He is removing distractions and guiding you toward what truly matters. You don't need to beg for it. You don't need to fight for your place. You already belong, and what's yours cannot be taken. What's promised to you cannot be delayed any longer. God has written it into the very pages of your life, and now those pages are turning. You may not have felt like you were growing, but all along God has been expanding you, quietly, gently, deeply. He's been stretching your heart to hold more of His presence. He's been increasing your capacity to receive, and now you are ready in ways you weren't before. You are more anchored, more prepared, more open. And because of that, the blessing will not just visit, it will stay. You are no longer in the place of barely surviving. You are stepping into a season of steady rising, and heaven is rejoicing with you. Let go of the fear that says it's too late. Let go of the lie that says you missed your chance. With God, nothing is ever truly lost. What you thought was over, He is about to breathe new life into. What you thought was gone, He's been holding safely until the right time. This is the time, not a moment before, not a moment after. The windows of heaven are opening now, and what's being released will reach every corner of your life. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and even physically, you are being restored. Don't try to figure it all out. Don't let anxiety steal today's peace by worrying about tomorrow's unknowns. God already stands in the days ahead. He's already cleared the path. All He asks of you now is to walk with Him, step by step, moment by moment, trusting that every step you take is guided. You won't be alone in this. His presence is going before you. His love is surrounding you, and His blessing is unfolding all around you. It's calm, steady, and certain. Like a gentle tide, it's moving into your life, washing away what no longer serves you and preparing the ground for something brand new. The transformation that is coming will not only change the way you live, it will change the way you see yourself, the way you love others, and the way you carry the presence of God everywhere you go. Type 1212 if you walk by faith and not by fear. It doesn't matter how long you've waited or how many times you've been disappointed. When God speaks a blessing over your life, no obstacle, no delay, no opposition can stop it. You may have walked through seasons of hardship, loss, and silence. You may have cried prayers that felt like they disappeared into the sky. But every word you spoke, every tear that fell, every moment you held on, even when you felt like letting go, it was all seen, all remembered, and all treasured by your Father in heaven. What's coming your way now is more than just an answer to prayer. It's a restoration of what was lost. It's a healing of what was broken. It's the kind of blessing that doesn't just patch things up, it rebuilds from the ground up. A new foundation, a new direction, a new depth of peace you've never known before. Not because life became easier, but because your heart became stronger, more grounded in truth, more anchored in God's love, and more aware of who you are in Him. Some people will not understand the way God blesses you, and that's okay. They weren't meant to see the full story. They weren't there in the darkest nights. They didn't hear the whispers between you and God when no one else knew what you were carrying. They didn't see the moments when you chose faith over fear, even when everything inside you trembled. But God saw it all, and now He is rewarding your quiet obedience, your private faithfulness, and your decision to keep believing when the evidence said you shouldn't. Type 1919 to receive miracles if this speaks to you. This transformation won't always look how you imagined, but it will always feel like home to your soul. It may not come through the path you planned, but it will arrive exactly where you need it most. God is not bound by your expectations. He exceeds them. He surprises you with His goodness in the most unexpected ways. And when the blessing shows up, you'll recognize it not just because of what it brings, but because of how it makes you feel. Free, loved, safe, whole. You are not behind. You are not running out of time. God is not measuring your life by the standards of the world. He is unfolding something eternal inside of you. Something that cannot be rushed, manipulated, or missed. When it's time, you'll know. Doors will open, people will show up, answers will come. Not because you forced them to, but because God released them. And what God releases is always right, always good, and always exactly what we need. Every struggle you've endured, every hardship you've survived, every silent season you walk through, it's all part of the foundation under your feet right now. You are not standing empty-handed. You are carrying strength that cannot be shaken. You are walking with a wisdom that was forged in the fire. And you are covered in a grace that is deeper than any shame, greater than any fear, and wider than any mistake. That's why the blessing coming your way is not only life-changing, it's life-defining. Don't look for signs in the sky. Look within. Feel the calm beginning to take root in your spirit. Feel the pressure start to ease. Feel the sense of quiet assurance that says, God is near. Because He is. He always has been. You just needed to slow down enough to feel it again. He's always been speaking, always been guiding, always been covering you, even when it felt like He was far away, and now He is drawing even closer to lift the weight you weren't meant to carry and to fill the space with light again. You've been walking a long road, you've been faithful with little, and now He is trusting you with more peace, more purpose, more provision. You are not stepping into a season of more for your own comfort, but so that you may overflow into the lives of others. This blessing is meant to touch you first, and then move through you like a river of grace into every person God places in your path. You are not just being blessed, you are being called to bless others, to bring healing, hope, and light to places where darkness has lingered too long. And even if the process feels slow, even if the journey feels long, do not lose heart. The blessing is not just at the end of the road, it's in every step you take with God. He is not just waiting for you in the future, He is walking with you now. And as you continue forward, you'll begin to notice the shift. The light will break through in places that were once covered in fear. Your voice will carry more peace. Your presence will carry more compassion. Your life will carry the unmistakable mark of someone who has been held and healed by heaven. Let go of what you thought it had to look like. Let go of the timelines and the pressure to arrive somewhere by a certain age or stage. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where God is meeting you. And right here, in this very moment, is where the blessing begins, not just around you, but within you. Let it in. Let it grow. Let it guide you gently toward the next step, the next chapter, the next miracle. But even in that silence, even in the stillness of your heart, God hears you. He sees everything. He understands the tears you couldn't explain, the thoughts you never voiced, and the deep yearning that you carry with you day after day. And now, He is moving. Not just to fix what's broken, but to completely renew your life from the inside out. Type AMN if you believe God is working behind the scenes. This blessing is not just a response to one prayer. It's an unfolding of everything God has prepared for you since the beginning of time. You may have thought you missed your moment, or that too many things went wrong for the good to still come. But God doesn't measure time the way we do. He doesn't cancel plans because of detours. He knows how to take every wrong turn, every delay, every hurt, and make it part of a greater plan that still leads to the promise. Nothing is wasted. Nothing has been overlooked. And your name is still written into the blessing that is now on its way. There's something sacred about this season you're in. It may not look like a miracle, but the ground is being prepared. You're being softened in ways that make you more receptive to joy. You're learning to breathe deeper, to release what's no longer yours to carry, and to find peace not because everything makes sense, but because you know God is with you in it. The blessing He's sending will not only meet your needs, but remind you how deeply known and loved you truly are. It will be specific. It will be personal. It will speak to parts of you that even you forgot were still alive. Type 2323 if you agree that God's plan is unfolding for you. You've done your best to hold it all together. You've smiled for others while your heart was breaking. You've remained calm in the middle of chaos. You've continued to serve, to love, to show up, even when your own soul was running on empty. And now the Father says, I see you. The blessing that is coming is not a reward for perfection, it's a gift of mercy, a gift of love. A reminder that God honors the ones who stayed faithful in the quiet, unnoticed places. This is not about what others think you deserve. It's about what God knows your soul needs. You may have spent years thinking you had to prove your worth to people, to yourself, even to God. But this blessing has nothing to do with proving and everything to do with belonging. You belong to Him. And because you belong, you inherit His promises. You receive His peace. You walk in His covering. The days of striving are ending. The days of resting in His love are here. This doesn't mean the journey will be perfect, but it does mean you will never again walk it alone, confused about whether or not you are worthy of His presence. You are, and you always have been. The blessing that is coming won't just heal what was broken. It will rebuild you with strength you never knew you had. You will no longer walk with the same weight on your shoulders. You will breathe differently, love differently, hope differently. Because once you've been touched by God's mercy in this way, everything changes. Your view of the past softens. Your fear of the future fades. And your soul finds a stillness that doesn't depend on anything but Him. This transformation isn't flashy, it's gentle. It starts in your thoughts where once there was panic, now there is peace. It shows up in your responses where once there was frustration, now there is calm. It fills your heart where once there was emptiness, now there is joy. This is what heaven is releasing. Not just a momentary fix, but a total renewal of who you are in Christ. You will feel it like sunlight on your skin after a long winter. It won't rush in, but it will settle over you until everything feels different, lighter, freer, whole. People may begin to notice the change in you before you even do. They will see your eyes shine again. They'll hear hope in your voice that wasn't there before. You won't need to explain it, because the presence of God will go before you. The blessing will speak louder than your words. Your life itself will become the evidence that healing is real, that transformation is possible, and that God still answers prayer in ways that go far beyond what we ask. Let this be the season where you stop bracing for the worst. Let it be the moment where you learn to trust goodness again. Let the walls you've built around your heart begin to fall. They were there to protect you, but they also kept the light out. God isn't coming to tear you down. He's coming to restore you, to fill you with a peace that doesn't need explanation, to wrap you in comfort that feels like home, to give you a life where you're no longer surviving day by day, but finally, fully, beginning to live again. There will be a shift not just around you, but within you. You'll find yourself waking up with purpose. You'll feel a new strength, not rooted in your ability, but in the awareness that God's presence is going before you. You'll stop fearing the unknown, not because you have all the answers, but because you know who holds the future. And in that knowing there is rest. In that trust, there is freedom. And in that surrender, there is the fullness of life that God always meant for you to live. You won't need to strive anymore. You won't need to carry it all alone. He's taking over now, not with force, but with love, with healing, with peace. The very things you thought would break you were the places He entered most deeply. And now, He's turning those broken places into testimonies of grace. This is not just a recovery from the pain, but a complete renewal of your soul. Where you once felt empty, you will overflow. Where you once felt forgotten, you will feel favored. Where you once only hoped, now you will see. Type 666 if you trust Jesus to carry you forward. Sometimes, God does His most powerful work not in the noise of miracles, but in the quiet shifts of your heart. You may not have seen it yet, But something has already begun, a peace that you can't explain, a sense of calm that wasn't there before, a small but steady hope that keeps showing up even on your hardest days. These are the signs that the blessing is already near. It's not waiting on your perfection. It's coming because of who God is: faithful, loving, and always right on time. There were moments you thought you missed it, missed your opportunity, your calling, your moment of favor. But God says, nothing is lost in Him. The blessing has not passed you by. It's been circling you, protected, preserved, and prepared for the right moment to fall into your life with purpose. What you thought was delay was actually divine alignment. He's been setting things in order, removing what would harm you, building what will sustain you. And now, you are being positioned to receive what your heart has longed for, even the things you gave up praying for. You're not entering a season of striving. You're entering a season of rest. Not the kind that comes from sleeping more, but the kind that sinks deep into your soul and whispers, you don't have to carry this anymore. God never asked you to figure it all out. He never asked you to be perfect. He only asked you to stay close, to trust Him. And every time you've chosen faith over fear, every time you've whispered His name through tears, every time you've kept walking with tired feet, He noticed. And now, He's responding with something holy. Type 2020 to claim miracles over your life. The transformation that's coming won't just change your circumstances, it will change the way you see everything. You'll see the closed doors and thank God for them. You'll look back at the detours and realize they were protection. You'll recognize that the prayers that went unanswered weren't ignored, they were rerouted towards something far greater. What God is doing is not temporary. He's building something that will last, something that will bless not only you but those around you. There will be moments when you pause and realize that the heaviness you once carried is gone. The fear that haunted you has quieted. The pressure that once made your chest tight has lifted. And in its place, there is a stillness, a strength, a certainty. That's how you'll know it's Him. Because real blessings don't bring chaos, they bring clarity. They don't rush you, they slow you down. They don't exhaust you, they renew you. You are not too late. You are not too far behind. God hasn't moved on without you. In fact, He's been waiting for you to reach this exact moment where your heart is soft enough to receive, your mind is clear enough to recognize, and your spirit is open enough to embrace what's been prepared for you all along. The blessing is not about what you've done, it's about who He is, and He is good, always good. Especially in seasons where it's been hardest to believe it. This blessing is going to surprise you not just in how it comes, but in how complete it feels. It won't just touch one area of your life. It will touch everything: relationships, peace of mind, healing in your body, hope for your future, joy in your daily life. It won't be because everything suddenly becomes perfect. It'll be because you'll begin to see God's hand in everything. You'll sense His presence in places where you once only felt emptiness. Let go of the fear that says you're not ready. If God says it's time, then it's time. You don't need more preparation. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be willing to receive. And sometimes, that's the hardest part, to let love in when all you've known is loss, to welcome peace when all you've known is pressure. But God is patient. He will help you open your heart again, slowly and gently, until you're able to hold what He's sending your way without fear. There will be blessings that don't make sense to others. People will wonder how and why and when, but you won't need to explain. You'll know in your spirit, it was Him. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't luck. It wasn't because you earned it. It was grace. Pure, undeserved, unshakable grace. And you will carry it not with pride but with humility. You'll walk with more compassion. You'll love with more tenderness. Because you'll remember where you came from, and you'll never forget who carried you through. Let this be the moment you choose to believe again, not just in a better future, but in a God who has been good all along. Even when it was dark, even when it was silent, even when it hurt, His love never left, His promise never changed, and His plan is still unfolding in ways more beautiful than you can imagine. You haven't missed it. In fact, you're standing right in the middle of it. This is the hour where the atmosphere shifts, where what was heavy becomes light, where what was delayed is released, where what was broken is healed. Don't worry about how it will come.